It's your boy Tony Ortiz, back again with the character creation pre-run video for our second 2023 playthrough of Mass Effect Legendary Edition, the whole trilogy. We've already done a run this year. We played all of it live on Twitch, so if you want to check out the archives for that, you can do so. And I did not upload any of those to YouTube, so what I wanted to do with this one is upload them. So we're going to be taking a bit more structured of an approach to this playthrough, a little less free form in terms of what I'm doing. But I definitely did want to show you the character creation bit before we get started, and that's going to take place probably sometime later this year. But I wanted to get it created now. And kind of like set it up, lay the groundwork for it later. We'll take it on maybe over a longer period of time instead of just like every other day for a couple months. Give it some more room to breathe and so on. So, just real quick before we get started here with the creation, I've played the game, I want to say like at least 15 times all the way through, and ME1 and ME2, probably less for ME3. So I got this on launch day for 360 when it came out originally. I probably played it through at least 6 or 7 times with different characters, and then a few more times with New Game Pluses for some of the characters that I finished the game with. Again, I was very hyped for the game. I was very excited by the concept videos and the trailers that we saw. That was the height of the Xbox Live era. In the first few years there, where we were able to get exclusive content and stuff. And ME1 was exclusive to 360 when it first dropped, and then came to PlayStation and PC later. Yeah, so very, very important game to me. I love, most things about it, and I pretty much mirrored that with ME2. And ME3 I played through a little bit less, a little bit less than the previous two games, but all on console. Then years later, I bought all three games again on Origin on PC. Not a fan of the client, not a fan of EA's method, but it is what it is. And then we purchased the Legendary Edition, I think the first time it went on sale on Steam. So that's the version we're going to be playing, the Legendary Edition. But just a side note here, don't feel like you have to play Legendary Edition. There's all sorts of other cool stuff, bugs and glitches in the previous versions of the game. And if you want to mess around with those, definitely do that. I am a strong proponent of checking out all the ways to play through a game. So, if you want to check out the speed runs, I think all of them are pretty fantastic. There's lots of cool different categories. There's a really active community. They've showcased their runs at many marathons, and I think you should definitely check those out. And get some insight on some of the things you can maybe incorporate into your casual or like min-maxing playthroughs of the game. But yeah, so with Legendary Edition, there were some bugs, and of course there are bugs with the PC ports. Even the PC ports on Origin, I had some issues with. Like I had an ME2, so certain DLC would not let you complete it. When LE came out for the first few months, even after the sale, in ME2, there were a few places where you would automatically hard crash. So I just kind of waited, for fixes there. Had to reinstall the game, all sorts of stuff like that. But thankfully, it's in a state for the last 2 or 3 years now where everything runs pretty smoothly. ME1 is pretty much the same, just graphical updates. ME2 has a lot of fixes, readjustments. And then ME3 has a few things that are changed in Legendary Edition. Most notably, the system that you use for building war assets is much different. It's a lot more forgiving, and that's because there's no multiplayer component, and that was actually supposed to factor in to your ability to build that resource up. So you can go online and watch a video of, explaining all the differences between LE and the normal versions. But that's what we're playing on, just so everyone knows. And with Legendary Edition, since I purchased it, we've completed through 3 full playthroughs, each using a different type of character. So I have not made a Soul Survivor yet, so I'm going to go ahead and make one of those. And also, I have planned out exactly what we're going to do with each game. So let me just open the note here. Alright, so we've done 2 males and 1 female shepherd, so we're going to go ahead and do female shepherd this time. The approach we're going to take to interaction is going to be sort of like a casual approach. So I'm not going to just hard smash every Paragon or Renegade option. I'm going to try to think, since I have some time, before we actually go through and start playing, I'm going to try to think of an actual character in my mind that I want this character to play like, and then I'm going to pick options that kind of would follow that. So I'm actually going to try to role play this character, or at least I'm going to invent like what I see in this character, and then I'm going to try to write for them like it was a TV show or a movie, to where it makes sense, where they have, they lean one way or the other, they have flaws. Now this is going to lock us out of certain rewards, it's going to lock us out of certain dialogue options, but that's okay, because you can play it however you want to play it. And I think it's been a long time since I've actually tried like this like gray balanced style of play, so that's what we're going to do for this one. And in each game we're going to choose a different class, and we're going to play with a slightly different variation of powers. So as I did this last time, I think it's kind of boring to take a character all the way through as one class, when you've done so much in this game already. So we're going to go ahead and create the one character now, but just for like the sake of like completionist and knowing everything that we're going to do, we're going to go with Soldier in MU1, since I have not played Soldier on Legendary Edition yet. In MU1, I've played it in the other 2 games. Considerably balanced in terms of doing damage, and considerably broken in terms of absorbing damage. So we're going to get to a point with Soldier where like we have the 2 or 3 damage absorbing abilities, and between like immunity and cooldown reset, we're just going to be immune to damage like all the time. We're going to be taking like 10% damage or less. Like we won't take anything from poisons, or it's going to get really nutty. And to complement that, since we're not going to be doing any kind of Vanguard shenanigans with dashing in ME2 or ME3, and I don't really plan on going in hard in the paint in ME2 or ME3 at all, I plan on sitting on the back line for the most part. I figured for a nice change of pace in ME1, we're going to actually just run and rush down on everybody. So one of the weapon types you almost never see in ME1 is shotguns. Pistols are probably the objective best weapon. Between their cooldown and like the availability of good stuff early, and how well they scale, you can really just wreck everything with pistols. You do have to be very, very accurate though. So if you're a really good like third person or first person shooter player, pistols are going to be ridiculously good for you. Assault rifles are just all around great. That's what I'd recommend for anybody that's going to play a class that can use those. Or even adding it as your bonus skill, because in ME1 you do have to you're locked to only the weapon types that your class is allowed to have. In ME2 it's pretty much the same, although halfway through the game you do get to pick up one class of weapons that you couldn't normally use before, and if you're a class that can use everything, you can pick up an upgraded version of one of those guns. But then in ME3 they moved to the weight system, which I think is the best system. But we'll cover that in a minute. So yeah, I don't think you see sniper rifles occasionally, because sniper rifles actually really, really start to wreck in the late game. When you get to max skill, you get their highest level cooldown, you get adrenaline rush to be able to reset it. You can 3 or 4 shot armatures, which are the giant walkers of the Geth, with a good sniper rifle. With the with the Spectre sniper rifle at rank 10 with good mods in it. With explosive ammo, I mean, you can just absolutely destroy if you hit them in a weak spot. And what's interesting is that in ME1, at least in the old version of the game, I think this has been corrected in Legendary, but the NPCs were very, very accurate. You know, they weren't always in the right position, but you could order them into certain positions. They wouldn't use their powers all the time in the right spots, but you could, tell them to use their powers and stuff with the pause menu. But in older versions of the game, and it might be the same. I don't remember if I took Garrus or Ashley in the last time I played. But when you have an NPC with a sniper rifle, they are deadly accurate. That again might have been corrected. And if you don't even want to use the sniper rifle, just take someone with you that does, and invest in their equipment a little bit, and get their skill up in snipers, and you can just like hide good examples like the Armstrong Nebula, I believe it is, where you have to fight like 4 or 5 Geth outposts. Just like approach one on foot and just hide around the corner and order like Garrus or Ashley to go run and hide and cover and just wait, and they will just start toon 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 blowing things away. You'll actually see it, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take I'm probably going to take Ashley with me through most of the game. It depends on how Liara's skills work. I think Liara can get encryption and electronics, but I'll have to check. Actually, no, I don't think she can get encryption, so we have to take Tally with us. So I don't know if I'm going to have room for Ashley. I haven't decided if I'm going to take Ashley or Liara as my second party member, but yeah, that's what we're going to do for ME1. So soldier, shotguns, and we're just going to run right up in everybody's grill and blow them away. And, because you never see shotguns. And shotguns have a really weird cooldown. They get like this, you basically turn your next shot into like a Hadouken cannon death shot. And you throw it, and so you have to be super accurate with it. But the cool thing about being super accurate with something is the closer you are, the less you have to actually be aiming. In accuracy, it doesn't matter as much. So hopefully, when we get up into something's grill, like a Krogan Battlemaster, we'll be able to just hit that button and blast them. And since we're going to not be taking a lot of damage, we'll just leave our other people in the back and so on. I haven't decided on a bonus power. We'll decide on that when we do character creation here. In ME2, we're going to run Adept, since I haven't run Adept in ME2 on Legendary Edition yet. We will be stuck with pistols and submachine guns, of course, but we're going to rush to the mid-game mission as fast as possible so that we can pick up sniper rifles. And we're going to sit in the back with our Adept, and we're going to snipe things out. And then we're going to play 2 probably offensive party members there, probably like Samara and not sure. Samara for sure is going to come with us, but after that I'm not really sure who I'm going to pick. And then on ME3 we're going to continue the sniper theme. We're going to go Infiltrator, because I haven't played Infiltrator on LE, and I was looking through the skill trees the other day, and I saw that with their cloak ability, they have a similar bonus on the last skill selection to be able to use a power before the cloak runs out. Very similar to the way the soldier can use a power before their adrenaline rush runs out. And it might be that we just take Flare, which is the no-brainer, because Flare is insane. But we'll probably decide on that power later. But then I'm going to also continue to take sniper rifles, and then I'm going to try to find a way to do the weight to take shotguns without killing our cooldown reduction, so that I have both. So I can if something runs up on us, we switch, we blow it away with a shotgun, and then we're sniping first and foremost. And then that ME3 character is almost like a interesting combination of the first 2 game classes that we pick. And then in ME3, it's going to be probably Liara and probably Ashley. It'll probably be Liara and Ashley, because we're going to pick Ashley to survive. And I'm going to kind of go all around with a female kind of theme. So it's going to be a female shepherd. We're going to take female party members, You know, ME2 Jack might be an option. Miranda's really good. You know, one of the best characters in the game. So we're gonna take some combination of like all female team throughout the entire run. You know, kind of like a little tip of the cap, you know, to the ladies, since we typically don't, you know, um, we don't see that a whole lot. So that's kind of like the rundown. Let's create our character. Um, I've played all three of these. There's not much difference in each of these options here. They sort of line up with Paragon Renegade and Middle, but not really. You know, they basically the only thing that your background does is it changes some of the quests and things that you get throughout the three games. Some of the side stuff that comes up changes some of the dialogue. For instance, if you pick Spacer, your actual canon mother is alive and will like reach out to you via email, and then I think in game 3 an actual voicemail. You pick these other two, your parents are dead, and again, it doesn't really matter here, but we're just gonna go with the most kind of like the roughest pre-service history with the Earth. And then I've played Double War Hero and Ruthless, or something like that so far. So I haven't played Soul Survivor, so we're gonna get some new dialogue. Um, this is maybe the most interesting backstory, where like you have things to deal with that you haven't dealt with, and people question, when you're a war hero, people are like, oh yeah, you're the best, you saved everybody, you're amazing, and then Ruthless are like, damn, I don't know about that person, they're kind of crazy, like they got, whatever. But this one is kind of like the nice middle, like open-ended one, so we're gonna go with this, and we haven't played it yet. Okay, so the other option here would have been Vanguard, but I've already played Vanguard in ME1 on Legendary Edition because we want to be able to use shotguns. So what do we have here? We can have double. We can have even more like ridiculous tank ability with Barrier as our bonus power. We could, in theory, go with Decryption, and that would add the Decryption mines to our kit. Not really useful, but what we could do is take this so that we could take Ashley and Liara and leave Tally at home, because I believe Liara has electronics, which will get us, our repairing of the Mako and the ability to open the stuff that requires electronics to open. And then Liara slinging singularities means we don't have to, and we can focus on running in and blasting people. I'm not actually opposed to that. I think it sounds interesting, unique. Normally I'd go with lift or singularity. Singularity maybe not, because the shotgun, we're gonna have less shots, and we kind of need to be accurate, and it's gonna move things around. Lift is pretty interesting, but then, we're gonna have to run into combat and then like aim upwards and shoot stuff. Barrier was probably. It's probably gonna be Barrier or Electron or Decryption, right? Barrier or Decryption. And unfortunately, with shotguns as well, we are gonna have to waste some points. When you take shotguns or sniper rifles, you unfortunately have to put a few points into pistols or assault rifles, respectively, to unlock that skill tree, which is kind of unfortunate. I wish they would have changed that in the Legendary Edition. Just let all four be open. But is what it is. Maybe there's something with the code they couldn't mess with there. Barrier is super interesting though, because do we want to truly be invincible? Because you throw the barrier up at the beginning, you run in, you hit all your other cooldowns, and then you're pretty much invincible. You don't have to throw the barrier up until later, to the next fight. In each skirmish, you only really have to throw it up at the beginning. But I really kind of I want to take Ashley as a sniper. I really do. And Decryption will let us do that.
Confirm facial identification.
Okay. Let's mess with the face a bit. That's actually a pretty decent preset. I don't mind that at all. Okay. Hmm. I like the shape of this. Let's maybe use this as the base starting point. Yeah, I think we want to go a little darker. There we go. And then structure-wise, what are we doing here? Okay. Yeah, I think that shape is cool. All right. Um. Hmm. This is the height of the cheekbones. Yeah. I do like green. Maybe more of a hazel, like a bluish green. Don't not in love with scars. Is there like a way to do no makeup? Oh, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of, like a commanding soldier wearing. I mean, hey, more power to you, but like realism-wise, going into combat, I think you should probably just keep it natural like this. I think everything else looks fine. What hair color are we going for here? Purple's kind of cool, actually. I like this reddish pink, dark purple. Hmm. Oops. All right. Buzz pulled back. This is like literally trainer's haircut though in Me 3, so I don't know about that. I don't know about all that now. That looks good. It's like a ends in a row shortcut from Star Trek. This kind of reminds me of the new character from Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. Erica, the pilot. I know the first name of the character is Erica. I can't remember the last name of the character. But her hair looks great in the series. This is good. Oh, it keeps popping us over here. I don't know why. I like this one. So it's either this one or it's like the ends in row cut. Which is that. I think Dr. Chakwas has this exact same haircut too, though. Let's go with this one. Alright, everything else looks good, I think. If we were to mess with this. Yeah, see, I'm not a big fan of. I think that's fine.
Profile reconstruction complete.
Alright, so there we go. Our character's created. We have decryption, which is going to mean that we don't have to take Tally or Garrus or Caden, which is not going to be good for Caden because he's not going to survive anyway. We'll still be able to open all the lockers and everything, The only one issue is we're going to have to rush this up to expert, like the rank 3, so that we can open up hard containers right away, which will take away from our combat ability. And then we won't have electronics until we get Liara, so we're going to have to basically go get Liara immediately. No side quests. You know. But yeah, we don't have a. When we get Ashley right away, we'll get Tally on the Citadel. And I guess we'll switch to Tally, so we won't necessarily have to raise this right away. But we want to keep Ashley. We need to have decryption leveled up so that we don't have. We're not locked out of containers and stuff like that. And doors that you need decryption to open. Which, this isn't a problem in later games, of course. They got rid of decryption completely. They put in a mini game in ME2 that anybody can, play without putting a skill in it, and then in ME3 they just got rid of it altogether. So this is only an ME1 thing. But yeah, we've got this on the books. I'm going to click accept here, hit confirm. We're playing on normal, playing on classic. We're making all the decisions. We want our squad to be able to do powers when they feel like it. We're not going to do a ton of pausing. And yeah, that's kind of like how we're going to roll. All right, so opening sequence. I'm going to go ahead and let the opening cutscene play just for posterity's purposes.
What about Shepard? Earthborn, but no record of her family.
Doesn't have one. She was raised on the streets, learned to look out for herself.
She saw her whole unit die on the cruise. She could have some serious emotional scars.
Every soldier has scars. Shepard's a survivor.
Is that the kind of person we want protecting the galaxy?
That's the only kind of person who can protect the galaxy.
I'll make the call.
Good stuff. All right. So, I don't believe there's much to do here. Yeah, we only have 3 points. Um, but we'll definitely take our first point in decryption, of course. Soldier's going to give us more health and health regen. Fitness is what we ultimately want to unlock. Assault training, we're going to cap. We're going to cap fitness. We're going to get to here in decryption. We're going to go ahead and cap this tree. This tree will eventually have an extra set here. And then the rest of the points are just going to go into unlocking shotguns and capping shotguns. So at level 60, if we make it to level 60 before the end of the game, which I believe we're able to do, if we do all side content, we'll have capped shotguns, capped assault training, capped fitness. We'll have the, is it 9 points? Yeah, 9 points in the decryption. We'll have the soldier whole thing capped as well. And then we'll probably put the rest of the points into combat armor. Yeah, because we need to at least go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to heavy armor here. We might not need the advanced shield boost though, so we'll kind of like see where we're at there. But yeah, we're gonna pretty much ignore first aid because we won't need it. We're gonna be invincible, and I'm probably not gonna put charm and intimidate points in too much. Just gonna kind of like go with the flow and see how that goes. So yeah, we're just going to put these 2 points in a pistol because we need to unlock shotguns as fast as possible. Hit the back button here. And we'll just go ahead and hit mark as viewed and then mark all as viewed on this. We'll save it up. And there we go, folks. That is the intro to our second playthrough of 2023. The casual, kind of like do whatever you want playthrough. We will do all the content, we will do all the dialogue, and we will not skip anything. So if you're looking to see like a whole kind of retrospective on what the game would be like to play today, if you're thinking about picking up Legendary Edition, you know, this, you can check this out as it comes out, and it's going to be a much slower drip than the last one was, where we're trying to just blast through everything. You know, this one we're going to kind of commentate on, like, you know, things we do and don't like, and you know, the characters we do and don't like, and so on. And we're going to stick with the themes that we've discussed with before, and these will be uploaded to YouTube. So I'm going to keep the in-game soundtrack as is, you know, and ad free, so that, you know, there's no questions there about stuff getting taken down and so on. We'll have a playlist up, and I'm not really, again, not sure when we're going to start this, and I'm not sure how long it's going to take to complete it, but we will complete it by the end of the year, and you know, we have plenty of time to do that around other gaming releases and titles. So if you're watching this on YouTube, please head on down into the description box and check out the link to the Twitch stream. You can come hang out with me live while we'll be recording these live and then uploading them after the fact. So, you know, if you want to catch any of it live, you can there. And you know, thanks for hanging out and chilling with us, and experiencing probably one of the greatest trilogies ever. You know, even the controversy around the ending notwithstanding. And you know, hopefully in the next couple of years, we're going to get that new title that might breathe new life into the franchise. So we'll see you on the journey.